Hi guys, it's Neon Amber. Welcome back to another episode of Hytale News. For today's episode, we checked out what you guys requested to see, and so we're going to talk all about magic in Hytale. This video is purely speculation as it's quite the slow news week, so please bear with us. So if you'd like to hear some of our thoughts on the potential for magic in Hytale, then keep on watching. So it's been confirmed since day one that magic will be a feature in Hytale. We see it in the trailer several times with ice spells, fire throwing spells, and loads of staffs making an appearance in screenshots, concept art, and of course the trailer itself. We also know that the Noxie interview confirmed that your ability for magic will be directly correlated with your armor. And so maybe things like rings will also have a direct correlation to magical abilities, and we've seen slots for those in the UI screenshots. So far we've only really seen battle magic, but domestic magic has also been mentioned, which could involve things like farming or some kind of nature ability, and we can also see what appears to be someone making potions in the farmhouse within the trailer. There are also magically imbued weapons like the flaming sword and corrupted golem sword that point to some kind of enchantment being possible. Thus, enchanting other items like armor and even pets or pet armor is more than likely possible. Other than that, we don't really have a whole lot of intel on what magic is capable of in Hytale and how it manifests. In this screenshot, we can see that there are several different symbols for each of the elements: wind, earth, fire, void, water, and lightning. Now, these could just be references for the elements that are primarily incorporated into unique prefabs like temples and dungeons, mostly for the elemental beads of course, but there's also a high likelihood that these have to do with the magic that we're going to see in Hytale as well. Now the runes could also be the language each faction uses, but perhaps players can also learn how to leave things like runic spells and protections with these icons as they advance throughout the game. So far from the concept art and the ore analysis, we can assume that magic will be a more difficult skill to obtain early on in the game. If you haven't seen our ore analysis, check out our video on ores and crystals. But it's important to note that staffs may not be necessary for every single spell. For instance, they could just be used for battle magic in particular, and smaller, less powerful forms of magic could be obtained quite simply and used for something like the equivalent of bone meal in Minecraft. So, you can imagine just planting crops and using a ring to grow things faster around you, or simply imbuing garden tools with enchantments. There may also be more complex forms of magic like healing, block manipulation, illusion, and void magic that could affect the gravity or other physics in-game. In the interview, Noxie mentioned that he was particularly inspired by games like World of Warcraft and a little bit of RuneScape when it came to the magic system they want to implement. Magic also means that our modding and server communities can have a lot of fun putting things together like minigames with unique playstyles and animations. You can really only imagine at this point just how in-depth this magic system could be. Will we need to visit temple prefabs to find items? Will magic mean that mages can sustain certain effects that potions have, like invisibility for example? Can mages manipulate the weather and create powerful tornadoes to knock enemies off course, or even summon lightning to smite enemies? Can elemental magic be combined and blended to create layered enchantments, or can ultra powerful spells be created using a group of mages with expertise in different elemental forms of magic? Could we conduct our own army of the undead by possessing goblin mobs and skeletons? Other things that would make sense is obviously portals, but having the ability to summon familiars, pets, people in survival, or creating portals would also be a really neat feature that something like magic could really entail and bring to this game. We'll have to wait and see when the game releases or in a future blog post, but let us know what you're excited for when it comes to magic in Hytale, or maybe what you're most apprehensive about. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy our coverage here on Hytale News, and stay up to date in our community Discord, linked in comments. See you in the next video.